What's good, guys? Poli Popo here, and today I'm gonna go ahead and show you a really fast way to make a song on the MPC X. I have done a couple of videos where I do the song mode and copy the sequence and everything like that in song mode, but this is right out of the gate. Whenever you get your MPC, you should try to do this. It'll kind of open up the doorway for you to kind of help you with your workflow. If you're an MPC user or any type of sound designer or music producer, mad respect and love from St. Louis, and from me personally. It's it's nice and fun, and you got to remember that it's fun. So first thing that we're gonna do, turn on your MPC, whether you got an MPC Live, an MPC One, or X. It really doesn't matter. It's the same workflow, and even if you have an Akai Force, it's pretty straightforward, pretty much the same, except for some differences, of course. But I'm gonna go ahead and start up a new project, and I wouldn't mind making a few videos. I want to show you a few different approaches on how to make a song, and this is the fastest way, so I figured I'd knock this out first. Okay, so let's dive right in here. And again, I thank you all for watching, and we will all make it through this. So let's just make some music in the meantime, and just get it. Alright, cool. So right off the bat, what you want to do is hit browse. Me, I'm going to load up two kits. I'm going to load up just go to content, my drums, and hit acoustic. And I like that, so I'm going to load up that kit. And then I also like the second chilled trap kit. I just like it. So those are my two drums, and those are the only things that I'm going to have to worry about loading. Everything else is done. I'm going to use my drums last because me personally, I don't like to lay down my drums first. I like to lay out my melody first. So what we're going to do, and instead of going 8 bars, we're going to start with 1 bar. Just 1 bar. And I usually don't work in this order, but it's a different workflow, and I need to share it with you guys because it is legit. And it works. So you go to your MPC expansions, and like when I was saying the Akai Force, I was like, what you do, you go ahead and add as many plugins in Standalone as you can, and go ahead and load up like tube synth. I'm going to select this sound for program 7 because I don't want to have to do this later. Okay, and yeah, it's cool to mess around with your sounds, but we're just going random here. Okay, you can change your sounds later, but just to come home and do this, tube synth 6. I'm going to do an electric. Scroll over to a weird noise, don't even hear it. And I would highly recommend, if you have an Akai Force, to do the same thing. Load up all your tracks going across, play them, and then copy them down, mute out them, copy them down. But anyway, so we're on here, default, let's do this. And it really doesn't take long to pick out what sounds you want. And again, I'm in standalone mode. Whenever you're in controller mode, you do have a lot more options. So, okay, plugin 3, we're almost done because we're going to use 8 sounds apparently. Just weird stuff. What do we got on 2? Nothing. So it's, see, you would have to stop every single time while you're trying to play, and that is just a beat time killer. Now we got 8 different plugins, you see? Now we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now we're on track 1, and of course I'm going to use the MIDI controller, and we'll see what that sounds like. A lot of the sounds, when you hear them in the browse, when you hear them in here, they don't sound that great, but when you play them on an external device into here, they do sound pretty legit. So let's go tube synth. And again, remember, I just did 1 bar. Usually I do 8 bars, but I'm going to build up a linear sequence. just starting with 1. Instead of going like 16 bars and playing, I'm going to go 1 and then copy it 2 times, so it'll make it 4 and then 8 and then 16. Or I might just leave it at 8 and then show you how to stretch it out to 64. That's what we're going to do. So, don't know what we're going to play. Let's see how fast this thing loops. Okay. I think I can fit something in there real quick. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I'm going to go to track 2. Because I want 2 things in the same sequence. Track 2. I'm going to use the one that I had for electric 2. Let's see. Sounds pretty good. Let's do one more at 1 bar. Alright, that's what we got. I'm going to turn that down. Now I'm going to hit sequence and copy because we're at 1 bar right now. Notice we're at 1 bar. I'm going to make it 4 bars. This way I can play a 4-bar sequence over it. Just go here, double length. It doubles it to 2, double it again to 4. Now the sequence, see the line? Now this next sequence that I play, let's see what we got. Let's go to track 4. That's what we'll do. Let's do it again. We're just gonna leave it like that, okay? I don't got time to sit here and redo that all day. So, track 5, we're gonna go with tube synth. I don't like that sound, so I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna use a note repeat on this just to add a little flavor. So that's all at 4 bars. All at 4 bars. Now I'm going to copy that again. This way I can go 8 bars. I'm going to play the rest of my sequences out in 8 bars. Because now I have variety. And the reason I want to do them, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to double length. Hit main, I'm at 8 bars now. Tube synth, what do we got? I'm going to hit this overdub. This way I can play. Track 6. I want my 6 plug-in. Let's see what we got. No. There we go. Nice little 8-bar loop. I just need 2 more. Let's see last plugin that'll allow me. And you don't ever want to stop that playback. You can hit overdub and record, and then hit overdub to stop, but don't ever stop that playback to go look for another sound. It's wicked. Don't do it. We're just gonna do something with that. Explode the drums, and then go back and mute out our sequences to 64 bars, which I'll show you right now. Track 9. Where we loaded those drums earlier. Should be right here. Take the full level off. I always like the full level my kick, this way it punches, and then I'll note repeat the little hi-hats with pressure sensitivity. You can't change the timing in live time, but for this I'm just going to do this. Looking back, without hitting overdub, I'm just going to hit my next drum because I know what I want to go like. And then my next drums are going to go like. I hit these a little softer than the other ones. I'm still holding down the note repeat. Cool. This is the big kick. Note repeat. Full level. Full level back off. I'm going to go to my toms. Okay, I'm going to add just a little hi-hat. Manual. Little filler. I'm gonna hit. Now I'm gonna go in here to my track 9. Because if I go to track 10, it's blank. If I go to track 9 and hit my pencil, hit explode. Track 10 now has that drum, this drum, that drum, all your drums. I have 16 because I use them all. So now I'll go to my sequence. All while it's playing. Never ever stop that workflow. You're gonna hit the pencil, copy the sequence to 2, copy to 3. However many variations of this sequence you want. Me personally, I do 8. I love 8 because it gives me a nice 64 bars. Let's copy one more time. Sequence 7 to 8. Make sure you have 8. Alright guys, this is where the fun comes in, alright? We got, look at all these tracks. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. We got 24 tracks. So we know that track number 9 is our main drums. If we unmute that track, it's gonna make all the drums play, all the exploded. This is just our original drum track. So let's go in here and just mute out some tracks and make this a song. Now keep this in mind. I'm doing this careless and recklessly because I don't have anything labeled. I know that all my sounds 1 through 8 are my synthesizer sounds from the plugins, and the rest say drums. So I know that my first drum is going to be this kick. I don't want all my drums coming out hard out the gate, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to mute those out. I only want these 2 first little loops that I was playing to play. So the last sequence is gonna sound like this. Cool. Watch, I'm gonna change every sequence. Sequence 7, same thing. I'm gonna leave all those drums in. We're gonna let everything ride on that. On 5, we're gonna mute out. Leave a little bit of this and that. 4, we're going to mute out 1 and 2. Let everything else ride. Kind of see what I'm doing? I'm just muting out. These are my synth parts, and these are my drums. I'm muting out all my drums per sequence. And it's just a really fast, effective workflow, and I'd highly recommend anybody to do it. So for sequence 1, we're just going to let nothing. It's going to be nice, quiet. And we're going to have these 3 come in. Okay, so sequence 1 will sound like this. Cool, no drums, no nothing, kind of gives it a little feel. I don't like to hear what it's going to sound like because I like to be surprised. So after you got all this, now you got sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. They're all different. You know what I'm saying? They're all different. So all we did was that pencil thing. We did that, and we copied the sequence 8 times. Then we went to track mute, and you muted out each of your sequences. Pretty straightforward, man. So now we're gonna hit Shift Song, insert those sequences. So you have to hit Insert 8 times. Right now it says sequence 1 all the way down because it's the same sequence. Now you're gonna change it. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want 1 to play again, that's fine, but 6, 7, 8. And if you want it to loop, you can make it loop however many times you want to. It's straight up. So once you have that all laid out, you can hit play and it'll play through all your sequences for you. So let's say it went through 1, 2, all the way through 8, and we liked it. You got to go to the bottom here. This is going to convert all your sequences together for 1 bar, or 1 64 bar sequence, okay? So you convert your last sequence, okay? We converted it. Hit clear. If you hit main and you go to sequence 1, it'll now say 64 bars. So if you want to rap over that or play guitar or whatever it is you want to do, whatever. You got 64 bars of playtime to do it, okay? So back into song mode. Shift song, please. It's like my favorite button, and I can't. Oh yeah, so we insert sequence 1. And convert or export this sequence to a wave. Same programs, nothing, stereo output 1 and 2, leave it all legit. Export, never your internal drive. We're going to name this song 5. Do it. Save it. And it's exporting my whole song. And of course, I have 5 more to do. And I went ahead and I was thinking, how can I make 5 more songs, but then also make some valuable information. So that was step one, just using the straight up plugins. So my last song I used, or on my first song, if you look at that video, I'll leave a link. I used key groups. Showed you how to load up your key groups and use those. Those are stock sounds inside the MPC. On song two, which I'll leave a link now, I used controller mode, and I was using Fruity Loops and a bunch of VSTs and the Loom and all kinds of cool stuff, and it was legit, and I love that. And for this one, we use the plugins. Next, I am going to, and I showed you that one bar thing, right? How we started with one bar and we built up the song. That's kind of cool, right? It was a little different approach to just having 8 bars of the same thing. But I do, on my next video, I want to show you how to take those 8 bars of any song that you have saved on here that you haven't redone yet, and show you how to play it in live time. There's a oh, you can't use the MPC in live. I think, yeah, you can. You really can. And it's really, really dope. And I'm going to wrap this up. I got this saved. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Again, any sound designers, music producers, anything pertaining to any kind of art, man. Mad respect to you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Probably later on today or tomorrow. All right, thank you. If you do subscribe to the channel, probably a good idea not to hit the bell, because I post a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you need something, you can look it up, and I probably got it on there. But yeah, the bell is gonna go off a lot if you do hit it, so easy on the bell. Right on, guys.